Recently, are all blind men Nazis? Was haben Freunde und Gedanken gemeinsam, seist du den Ring ab, ist dein Haus weg. That's a really funny joke in German. I don't know if any of you guys speak German. If you don't, it's all right. I don't either. We'll just have to deal with it. I've also been thinking recently, what do you think's harder for a priest? Baptizing a cat or making pussy wet? I don't understand ugly people. That's why I see a therapist. We mostly talk about myself. You guys are too sentimental. If there's one thing everybody here should remember is, if you can lead a horse to water, you can't fuck them. I have a friend named Morgan. Morgan wrote a screenplay. Morgan decided that he was going to be the director to the movie. Unfortunately, while he was directing the movie, Morgan started going blind. And nobody knew what was going on with it, but he had to go see a doctor. And after multiple days and multiple different tests and multiple hours of trying to figure out why my friend Morgan was going blind, the doctor finally came to the conclusion and came to me. He said, "Shawn, your director friend, he's developing a film in his eyes." Cool. Worked out home. People say kids look a lot older nowadays. I think kids from the 80s look a lot older nowadays. These 80s kids are starting to look a lot like they're 40. I don't even think we should call them kids anymore. I like to go fishing. I realize fishing is a lot like dating apps because it's all about what you use. And I'm using a stick with a hook at the end of it. But my dad would disagree with me. My dad says it's not about what you use. The only thing that matters when you fish is patience. And I try to be patient when I'm on these dating apps. I'll be on them for hours just fishing away. But somehow at the end of the day, I end up with my own hook in my hand. Shit. I'm from West Virginia. I like to go hunting. West Virginia is easily one of the biggest deer hunting states there is. And a lot of people don't like that idea. They don't like the idea of shooting an animal, and I get it. But let me learn you guys something. There's some atrocities happening in the deer community, and there's three main types of deer in North America. There's the mule deer, which is kind of a neutral deer, but then there's the black and the white-tailed deer. The black-tailed deer are all located in the Pacific Northwest, mainly in Alaska, and they're a beautiful species of deer. But then the white-tailed deer are everywhere else. They're coast to coast and they dominate. They're the deer we have here in West Virginia that shit in your yard, that jump out in front of your cars, but most importantly, the white-tailed deer are completely segregated from the black-tailed deer, and I think it's fucked up. It's 2021. I thought mammals realized that segregation was bad 60 years ago, but you confront these white-tailed deer about it, and they have the nerve to give you a deer in the headlights look. There's a philosophy in deer hunting that you should let smaller bucks go for a year. That way they get bigger and they produce more children. I don't agree with that philosophy, and that's because it doesn't fix the previous problem. If you think about it, the saddest part in the movie Bambi for a long time was that Bambi's mother died. It turns out the saddest part in that movie is that Bambi didn't get shot, that racist fuck. I figured out a way to tell how smart people were by using the stars. It's a 1 to 10 scale, where a 10 is people that know astronomy, and a 1 is people that believe in astrology. Like a 10 is Neil deGrasse Tyson, and then a 1 is a chick in college that thinks what month she was born in and what phase of the moon we're on determines whether or not she blows a guy. I'm somewhere in the middle, sitting there staring up into the sky saying, look, I think that was the North Star. but really it's daytime and I'm staring at the sun. Let's recap on the scale. 10, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Somewhere in the middle is me staring at the sun. Flat earthers. Astrologists. A lot of people would say that astrologists should be above flat earthers, but I've only known one flat earther in my life, and he knew how to build houses. He could frame them, he could do the plumbing, he could do the electrical, in which case I think that puts him one step above a Sagittarius. Thank you guys, I'm Shawn Bishop. Have a good fucking night.